So I made a student cry in my class. And I'm not talking about a single tear. I'm talking full on bawling, red eyes, hyperventilating, boogers in the nose, full on crying. Now, as a teacher, this is the worst feeling in the world. You see, Ayako traveled all the way from Japan to study English with me. She stopped her university studies. She paid a lot of money to dedicate 1 year to studying with a native English speaker. So, of course, when she told me that she felt she wasn't improving in her English and she wasn't making progress, my heart broke. And the strange thing is, in my mind, Ayako is the best performing student in my class. I can tell how much she's improved. I see the confidence in her speaking, but Ayako has lost her motivation. Today, I'm going to share with you what I shared with Ayako, my tips for staying motivated when you're learning a new language. Now, when you're learning a language, not everything can be seen. There's a lot of things happening in your brain that you don't necessarily realize. For example, as you learn new items, new things, your brain becomes more plastic. The neurons get activated and they literally create new connections between what you already know and the new information. As you make these new connections, you'll be able to recall information more quickly. That's why as you continue to study English, you'll be able to respond more quickly in conversations and you'll be able to answer questions with confidence and competence. Also, as you learn new things, things move from your short-term memory to your long-term memory. Have you ever had that experience where you know a word, but it's just on the tip of your tongue and you can't think of the word itself? That's an example of items in your short-term memory. Now, as items move from your short-term memory to your long-term memory, your knowledge goes from being temporary to permanent. And this is where your knowledge can continue to build. As you have a stronger foundation in your language ability, you'll be able to be more competent and confident when you're speaking. Now, unlike other goals that you might have in your life, when you learn a language, it's hard to track your progress towards that goal. For example, when I'm trying to lose weight, when I'm on a diet, I can track my progress. I can step on a scale and I can check if the numbers are going up or down. However, when you're learning a language, it's much more difficult to track your progress. So my first tip is to find ways to hold yourself accountable. Find ways to track your progress. An easy way to do this is to record yourself. Now, everyone has the voice memo function on their cell phone, and that's a great tool for you to measure your progress. What I want you to do is to record yourself speaking, and a month later, record yourself again. Continue this process maybe every month or every 3 weeks. It's really up to you. Now, I promise you, as you listen to your recordings, you're going to notice that your English is improving. You're making less mistakes, you're speaking more fluently, or you're speaking more confidently. By having a record of your English progress, you'll be able to see that you too are making progress in your English ability. And when you see and listen to your English improving, you'll feel more motivated. Next, I want you to think about setting mini goals. A lot of times when students come into my classroom, I ask them what their learning goals are, and they all say, I want to speak English better. That's a really big goal. Instead, I want you to set mini goals for yourself, goals that will help you to speak English better. For example, it might be every week I want to learn and use 10 new vocabulary words. Or every week I want to focus on listening for main ideas. Or every week I want to practice my connected speech. By setting mini goals and working on those goals will eventually help you to speak better. This is the process of micro-learning. By having a focused study of 15 or 20 minutes every day on a particular area and really focusing on it every single day, almost drilling it to yourself, you'll see eventual progress and you will see improvement in the long run. Remember, the more you improve, the more you'll stay motivated. My next tip is to take a step back away from English. Now, I know that might sound a bit strange because your goal is to learn English, but when you're so focused on learning English, your mind will go to what you don't know instead of what you do know. Instead, I want you to engage in activities that you really enjoy, but engage in them in English. So, for example, if you enjoy watching Netflix, continue watching Netflix, but watch videos and TV shows in English and set mini goals with them. Maybe this week you're going to watch it with subtitles, and the next week you're going to try watching that same show without subtitles to see how much you've learned. So engage in activities in English, but don't make English the focus. Make the activity the focus. This way you'll stay more motivated because you'll be enjoying the process of learning English. My next tip is to eat your vegetables first. You see, when I was a kid, I hated vegetables. I literally would eat around my plate, avoiding the vegetables at all costs. And my parents would always say to me, eat your vegetables first. And what that means is do the difficult thing first. A lot of times students don't want to practice reading or writing or grammar because they don't like it. It's difficult for them. And what I recommend is that when you're studying, study the difficult things first. Then end your time studying doing something you enjoy, maybe listening or vocabulary or watching a YouTube video. This way you'll stay motivated because you'll be making progress on the difficult tasks, but you'll be ending every study session doing something you really enjoy. My next tip is to give yourself a break. Learning languages is difficult, and it's easy to get yourself in a rut or to feel overwhelmed by the process. Instead, build a community, join a meetup, find a friend, learn with another person. This way, you're able to hold yourself more accountable. It's easier to be more accountable when you know someone else is also invested in your progress. And you see, I'm invested in your progress as well. And that's why I've set up coaching sessions. You can sign up for a coaching session one-on-one with me, and I'll be there to help you with your English and to help you stay motivated as you improve in your English. If you want details about my coaching services, please check out the description box below. Now that you're motivated and ready to conquer the English language, click or tap the screen to check out one more of my videos, and I'll see you in the next video.